It's not just you. Most men don't want to be rich anymore. Don't get me wrong. Men still want to have enough money to survive and thrive. They want financial freedom, but they're no longer worried about being millionaires. Today's video comes from the SCG show, and his channel will be linked in the description so you can go check him out and support him. Watch to the end of the video to fully understand the implications of men not wanting to be rich anymore and how this is going to affect both women and society going forward. And now let's just go ahead and jump right into the video.
No, it is not just you. Men don't want to be rich anymore. Men don't want to be millionaires. Men don't want to have mansions, fast cars, and all of that nonsense. They want something deeper. They want a simpler, quieter, more peaceful life. Sure, they want financial freedom, but that isn't as much as you think it is. When I was younger, I just wanted to be a millionaire. I wanted the Rolex. I wanted the Ferrari. I wanted the big house. I wanted all of that material stuff. I wanted all the possessions and more. As I've gotten older and as I approach 40 now, I realized that I don't want those possessions. I don't need the Bugatti. Sure, I can get that if I want. I can do that if I want. But I want something more meaningful. And that's the thing. Men don't want to be rich anymore. They want purpose in their lives. My father died in April 2020. I would give up every possession, every penny I have and more to have one moment with him again. It's never going to happen, but that's what I'm trying to say. I want purpose. I want meaning. I want substance in my life. The man who does reflection on himself, like you, the man who does self-discovery, the man who improves himself and levels up in here and in his heart as well, he realizes there's more to life than possessions, luxury items, amass wealth, big houses, and so much more. He wants to be rich on the inside. He wants to do work and substance and live a life of purpose. He wants to wake up with meaning, not wake up in a mansion and feel empty and dead inside. The amount of men I know who have been rich, became rich, and have grown up in rich families who feel so cold, so empty, so dull, without substance, without purpose, is astounding. It's why men are switching on now and actually realizing that true wealth is in purpose. And the new status symbol as well has changed. Okay, social media lies, and we'll get onto that in a moment. And obviously influencers try to make out that they can become rich and you can become rich and how it's easy to get rich quick. And there's no such thing as get rich quick. But here's the thing, the new status symbol for the man that levels up, like you, the man that does the research, the man who gets the experience and the wisdom and applies that to his lessons and learns from his setback, is peace and happiness. It is not wealth. It is not generational wealth. It is not a mansion. It is not a Bugatti or Ferrari. It is peace. Men just want peace. A simple life, a peaceful life, a happy life, an easier life as well. Not an easy life where they just give up and don't do anything. A simple life like owning a log cabin in the woods, living on the beach somewhere in a small little hut, just getting away from it all, detoxing from society and from technology. That's the thing. Men have had enough. They've had enough of people. They've had enough of the wrong women. They've had enough of family. They've had enough of the cities and environments they've grown up in. They just want peace. It is not a flex anymore to say, look how much money I've got. Because who knows where you get that money from nowadays. It's a flex now to say, look how peaceful I am. Look how happy I am. Look how simple my life is. A quiet life, a private life is an amazing, happy life now.
Most men now realize that all the things that they were told to prioritize, like fancy cars and expensive houses and clothing and all that stuff, that wasn't them. That was women. That was all about gaining status so they can attract a woman that would give them a family, and then they believe that woman would bring them peace. Men are realizing that a woman cannot provide you with peace. She cannot provide you with stability. She cannot provide you with any of these things. In fact, it becomes more of a liability to be in a relationship. Okay? Having a wife is a liability in today's society. And of course, the Sims will jump in and immediately begin attacking me for saying this. But it is the truth. Having children is a liability in today's society. Of course, the Sims will jump in and start attacking me and saying, I love my kids. I would be nothing without my kids. Blah, blah, blah. Because these men are afraid of being alone. Men who are now graduating to the mindset that, hey, I don't need anyone. I don't need anyone to be happy. I don't need anyone to make me happy. Rather, I would just prefer to be by myself and save my money, buy crypto, play video games offline. That's why I keep telling you all about GOG. I'm going to have to reach out to GOG. I'm going to have to reach out to GOG for those of you that don't know already. GOG is very similar to Steam. It's a launcher. It's an online platform where you can buy your games DRM free, but you actually get the installer files. There's no license key or anything like that. You download the files. GOG even goes in typically and they will modify the original file, the game files, so that they can work in existing hardware like Windows 10, Windows 11. It's absolutely amazing. So now you're getting these games and they will work on your computer. So it makes it even much easier to play old school games or just even new games that, you will often run into compatibility issues with. This is actually something so amazing that they do. So definitely go and check out GOG. I'm going to keep on singing the praises of GOG. I got to reach out to them. I got to reach out to GOG and say, hey, GOG, I've got a channel over here and I love what you're doing. Can we get some kind of sponsorship going? Because I need to get paid for all of this free advertising you're getting. But that's really what men want. You get the offline installer from GOG, and most of the games are offline, so they don't have online functionality like on Steam. Some do, but not all. If you want online functionality, you can do that through the GOG launcher. It's called GOG Galaxy, but you can download the games also offline, and and they don't have any online functions, and basically you can play your games. And that's what a lot of guys want, is just to be left the hell alone. They want to be left alone to play their games in peace, back up your games on an external hard drive, and this is the dream of men right now. Oh, the apocalypse is upon us. Everything's going to hell. Most men want to live on a ranch. Again, I'm not saying every man, because there's a lot of Sims who can't let go. But most men just want to live on a ranch. They want a piece of land, a house on that land, some animals. We all have the same thing. We all have the same feeling right now. Some animals, maybe we do a little bit of farming, grow some things, some of us, but we want our peace. We want to be separate from society. And, we have a setup, so solar electricity, generator, a well on our property, or a tank to catch our water. We have a septic tank out there to, handle the poop and everything else. And we don't have to mess with anyone. We don't have to see anyone. Power goes out. We're just like low, because we have our solar electricity set up. So, power's out. We have tons of energy. We're also preppers. So even if the solar stops working, it doesn't matter. We have other ways of dealing with that. Okay. And we have our homes, and everything is, we keep it simple. We have everything we could want in there, everything we could need in there. Okay. And it's like, guys, one of the things that's going to make a big comeback, and, I used to have a ton of them, guys, old comic books, because modern goes right now, old is gold. So if you want to enjoy comics and stories before they went woke, you're going to see people going back now and scooping up all those, old trash comics that used to sell for $1 at the dollar store, and saying, okay, well, I'm just going to collect the entire series of Iron Man or the entire series of X-Men that goes back to the 90s, back before everything went woke. And now you'll have guys who will have these nice comic book collections, buy an entire comic book collection, the entire series of this, or the death of Superman and all of that stuff. And they'll basically just have that stuff there. And they'll have their books, they'll have their graphic novels. So even if there's no power, I'll just read a comic. I'll just read some comics and relax. Read some comics, read some graphic novels, read some manga, take up drawing. I'm just so serious. I'm so serious. Like, a lot of guys will go and get, instead of like modern day, the modern day filth that that's all over the internet, it's just trash. Guys will go back, maybe buy an old collection of Playboys off eBay, and whatever they like, they'll go through, get the different ones. So when you want something like that, you pull one of those books out, you go and you read the book, like, all right, yeah, man, this is it. Go back to the magazines, guys. Remember how good the magazines were back in the day? We're adults now. You have your collection of magazines. Some guys will be happy with just one magazine. All right. You have a small collection of comics, collection of smut, and and it's just and you're just chilling and enjoying your life. You have your dog, our dogs, however many you want. That's the lifestyle so many guys want right now. And when you're free, when you have financial freedom, you don't care anymore. Guys, you pay off your student loan debt. For a lot of guys, no student loan debt, no credit card debt. That's freedom. That's absolute freedom. As if you have a roof over your head, if you have a roof over your head and food in your belly, you don't care. A lot of dudes give them give them Medicaid and EBT card and housing. They have no reason to work. I'm being so serious. Give the average man Medicaid, an EBT card, and housing. He has no reason to work. Don't get me wrong. He may work, a little here and there, maybe do some Uber Eats or just enough to survive and thrive or no more. Day trading. Guys, you don't understand the power of day trading. Day trading is extremely powerful. And when you learn it and you master it, you can basically sit at home and even from like $3,000, you can make $100, $200 a day just doing day trading. And it's a very powerful skill. It's a very, very powerful skill. I recommend every single guy learn how to do day trading, how to trade crypto, for example, because you can put different things in place to prevent major losses. And when you learn how to properly do day trading, you're basically providing liquidity to people who need funds. So, okay, I need some Bitcoin. Because I want to transfer money around, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so I'll provide that to you and I'll make a profit doing that. And that's really the key. So if you're at home and you're able to make $50 a day doing day trading every single day and it's all automated, guys, that's $1,500 a month. That's $18,000 a year. If you're able to do that, and make $100 a day, that's $36,000 a year. Think about that carefully. And now with someone like Trump back in office, guys, there's going to be a lot more liquidity in terms of, being able to take tax write-offs, because it's only going to get better for us. I really believe it's only going to get better for us. Much better tax write-offs. So, you know how to do this stuff. You don't even work. You have a roof over your head. And, if that's for a lot of guys, there are a lot of guys who are in different situations. Maybe they live with family. Maybe their father left them a mobile home. There's a lot of men like this. Okay. Are they bought a condo? There's a lot of men like this right now. Or they're just going to go and get a tiny home. And once they have and they put it on a piece of land that they purchase, once they have, a roof over their head taken care of, and they don't have to make you're not spending much of anything at all in rent, in terms of rent, and you have that knocked out, utilities you can figure out. I mean, guys, dudes are just going to chill. Men are not going to stress themselves out for this crap. They're going to live their best lives. They're going to seek economic freedom. They're going to seek freedom from society. Women do not look like a plus in a man's life anymore. They're not seeing it like, what value does she bring to my life? Modern women cannot cook, cannot clean, and publicly say on social media that they want a man who will cook for them. And they mean clean too, because they were raised to believe that cooking and cleaning are patriarchal and it's something they should never do. So psychologically, they have a mental block against those things, which is the reason why so many of them are in debt, because they cannot provide for themselves. They cannot cook for themselves. They cannot clean for themselves. And they view cooking as a form of disrespect. They view it as a horrible thing. So now the state has stripped women of their ability to even take care of themselves. So they don't have men that are going to be buying them meals anymore, because the simp economy is moving overseas. All right. And these simps don't have that kind of money to hold them down. Only, guys, adult content is going offline. Y'all are trying to say it's never going to happen. You're out of your minds. You are out of your minds, guys. They want to put adult content behind a behind a pay, behind a an ID wall, where only people who are they personally they actually just want to ban it outright. Project 2025 wants to ban it outright. They want to ban adult content outright. But but what will more than likely happen is it's going to be placed behind a wall. And many of you guys are like, it violates the Constitution. Guys, there are many things. There's a lot of information you cannot publicly access. I'm just being real. There's a lot of information you can't even publicly access. And some of y'all are crying about this stuff like, if they take my smut away, I'm gonna go crazy. So go crazy. I don't care. Nobody cares. Trump's back in office, bro. If you want to go out there and act up in society, mess around, find out. Mess around, find out. No one cares about you like that. Everyone will celebrate as soon as you're disciplined, but you're a punk. Most of you are punks that are saying that, oh, if they take away adult content, you're gonna be scared to go out there and start acting stupid. Go out there and start acting stupid. See what happens. All right? And a lot of you are lazy anyway. You're not gonna go protest over this stuff. You're gonna be at home crying and screeching on the internet. No one gives a damn. No one gives a damn. All right? So a lot of that adult content garbage, OnlyFools is in the process of being shut down. The DOJ has been working for years to shut down OnlyFools. They've been working for years to shut that crap down. So women won't have that platform anymore to turn to and use it to make money. And all of these sites like the Hub, they're going to be blocked. So you're going to have ID verification if you want to access that. Either it'll be blocked. It'll probably be blocked at the IP level, at the carrier level, evidently, to my understanding. So, you want to access that stuff, that you'll have to go through your provider. That could be Optimum or Verizon or AT&T or Spectrum. I don't know. I don't care. But it's not going to be something that you can just access just like that. If you want access to it, go and get it. But it's not going to be, go show your ID and everything. They can trace us. This is un-American. Listen, you know what's un-American? Not being able to afford groceries. You know what's un-American? Being censored constantly. They're going to censor everything too, man. They're going to censor all of that stuff. That anime and manga you enjoy, they're going to censor that too. They're already trying to censor it. The left is saying that it discriminates and is dangerous to men and to women and children. So MasterCard and Visa are basically censoring, like forcing censorship at the creation level in Japan. They're already doing this. All of these idiots, guys, that are running wild trying to say these things, they don't even seem to acknowledge the dystopia that they've created. Oh, they're gonna censor your video games. Our video games are horrible. Beautiful women no longer exist in our games in the West. All of the character models are ugly. They're absolutely ugly, like disgusting to look at. All right, all of your arguments are garbage. These Sims have created a miserable world, and then they're warning us, like, if we try pushing for these policies, all the things that we're going to lose, even though they're like not even acknowledging we've already lost them. All right? Oh, it'll get even worse. How? And who are the ones who are primarily doing this? So women are going to feel the brunt of this. Guys, most men are just want to chill and enjoy their lives, live their best lives. Not put up with the stress, play their video games, watch TV or whatever, read books, getting back to basics, man. Imagine like back to when we were young, listening to music, building out a CD collection. Guys, remember how when CDs were lit? Like imagine, guys, like how cool, like when you have free time again. As men, we don't have any free time. Imagine having free time again. Oh my gosh, imagine how great CD players were. Stereo sound, like that was some great stuff. Guys, we'll go back to CD players. Like, as men, we will start going back to physical media. And that's one of the biggest dangers for society. Society's like, no, you will own nothing. We'll just start, paying for old stuff. Old is gold. Old is gold. So if we don't own anything, like basically, if buying isn't owning, pirating isn't stealing. That's what a lot of these dudes are saying. Like, a pirate's life is for me. So men will just not pay for anything. And you see the comments from these idiot Sims. You're going to go to prison. All of us? All of us? And again, I'm not promoting it, but I'm just saying, ho, 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 a pirate's life is for me. I'm just saying, like the old song. And It's like, going straight up One Piece in here. That's it. That's it. Sailing those seas. And companies really have no recourse because, they can try to fight with the consumer, but if every consumer is like F you, they're screwed. The only reason why digital is working so well is because it's gave the consumer a way of easily accessing content. But now using the system, to say, okay, well, now you'll own nothing. It's basically you're no longer competing with free because you're making it harder to access the content that they purchase, that a person purchases, and you're telling them that they're putting in money and they own nothing, so they'll have to continually pay for this. Ho ho ho! A pirate's life is for me. All right, people are just gonna say if buying is not owning, pirating is not stealing. That's the message a lot of men are gonna go with. And like I said, even before that, a lot of men are gonna move back to physical media. They're gonna move back to Blu-ray. They're going to move back to physical Blu-ray disc and DVDs. A lot of people still have massive DVD collections, and that will make a comeback. Men are gonna go records. You just cannot beat the sound quality of a record collection. All right, men don't want these new cars. Men are gonna go pick up old Fords and pickup trucks and so forth, fix those up, work on them, and drive those around for the next 20 years, and they could care less about society because they're like, well, we have no real investment in society. Society doesn't care about us, so why the heck are we going to care about it? And guys, are you ready to take control of your financial future? Imagine achieving success without the burden of college debt. Our course, Your Path to Financial Success Without College, is designed to help you unlock your potential and achieve financial freedom. This course offers practical lessons, real-world strategies, and expert guidance to help you build wealth, invest wisely, and create multiple income streams, all without a college degree. Join a community of like-minded individuals who are transforming their lives and achieving their dreams. Don't wait. Click the link in the description to check out Your Path to Financial Success Without College and start your journey to financial independence today.
And there's this buzzword that goes around with wealth and becoming rich, and that's freedom. But what you don't realize is if you grow a massive empire, despite how much money you earn and make, there's a lot of pressure, there's a lot of stress, and it can become addictive. Men who become millionaires and men who become very successful in their businesses, they want to get more. $1 million's not enough. 10 million's not enough. $1 billion cannot be enough as well. There is no freedom there. They just want the fortune. They just want to accumulate more, make more, contribute more, invest more. And it just becomes a hamster wheel, and it just grows and grows and grows. And his life passes him by. And then when he dies one day and is buried 6 feet under, how much of that money is going to go with him? Not at all. Nothing. That's the thing. My dad died in hospital and sent me a text saying, I don't care about work. When I get out of here, I'm going to spend more time with my family. He never got that. He never got that freedom either. And it's freedom over fortune now. Fortune is a great thing, depending on what you want out of your life. But men don't want that fortune. Men don't want that hassle. Men don't want that stress and that pressure. They want the freedom to do what they want. Their best friends can be their wallet. Their best friends can be their finances in a simpler, more cost-effective way of living. The freedom to do what they want, to go where they want. They don't need to stay in 5-star hotels. They don't need private jets. They don't need to eat at fancy restaurants. They just need to eat whatever that meal is. They just need a roof over their head. They need a car to take them from A to B. Freedom over fortune is why men don't want to be rich anymore. And financial freedom is always going to be bigger, larger, and more beneficial than financial gain. You cannot take that money with you. It doesn't matter how much interest you're accumulating. It doesn't matter how much money you're creating. Because again, how much do you need? How much does a billionaire need? How much does the average man need? Not that much. Financial freedom is the ability, like I said, to work when you want and not work if you don't have to live where you want. Again, not in the biggest house, but in a house that's suitable and makes you happy and content. You know, having the ability to travel when you want, where you want. Again, you don't have to stay in luxury accommodation. To provide for a family, to provide for yourself, you don't need much. Financial freedom is better over financial gain.
Here's another thing that we often don't talk about. There are serious consequences that come with fame and lots of money. They make you easy targets, and it can also make it harder for people to build genuine connections with you. You go overseas and you're a foreigner, you have some money in your pocket, but they don't think that you're rich. You look exotic to them, so they're more likely to want to build a connection with you. But if they think you're wealthy, then a lot of them are going to want to take advantage of you. It's the truth. As men, when we do not have fame, when we're not constantly seen as just as wealth traps or, eight walking ATMs, it actually makes our lives better in the world because people are less likely to want to use us. And it allows us to build more genuine connections with others and keep the wrong people away from us, or just keep people away from us in general. And then you have your peace. Guys like Drake and even Kendrick Lamar and Justin Bieber and these types of people, they cannot go around the world and enjoy the world the way that we can. Elon Musk cannot enjoy the world that we get the way the world we can. These people cannot just go, hop on the subway and go somewhere. They can't travel in peace. That's one of the things that these people don't have. They may have these sprawling properties and giant mansions and all of these fans, but they don't have their peace. They will never have their peace. Mike Tyson, and this is something interesting about Mike. Mike talked about how important peace is and how when he went to prison, even though he should never have gone to prison for the so-called event that happened in the 90s, he finally found his peace. And he said, it's amazing to have your peace when you finally have your peace. He was away from the cameras, away from the noise, all of it, and he was able to just be himself in there and relax and enjoy his life in prison. And I think there were like videos of him working out in prison, doing a bit of boxing in prison. And it's crazy, but if you look at how he lives his life today, he's you can see Mike Tyson, he just had his fight, he lost. Guess what? He got $20 million evidently. $20 million for that fight. All right? That really helps to rebuild his finances.
It doesn't matter how much you accumulate, because how much you accumulate becomes greedy, becomes a dangerous, dangerous game, and you'll go down a very dangerous slope. Because less now, this materialism, this minimalism now, is more. Less is the new more. The less you have and the more you're thriving in less, the better your life is. The more happier you are, the better your health is, the better your mental health is as well. Less is the new more for men, and they're realizing it. They are selling assets. A friend of mine bought a luxury Porsche. It was his dream car. He wanted to drive it for so many years. He bought it. He hated it. He couldn't believe the maintenance of it. He thought that it was better in his head than the reality, and he downgraded and he sold it, and he loves the car that he's in now, which is far less expensive and actually just quite practical. He goes, I will never buy a Porsche ever again. This is not against luxury items. This is against the fact that you don't need that much to be happy as a man. The older and wiser and more experienced you become, the more you realize it. That's why men don't want to be rich. Because here's the other thing. We idolize the rich. We celebrate the rich in social media and in movies and in programs and as influencers. But the high life isn't the good life.
A lot of those people in Hollywood, those are industry slaves. And as soon as you step out of line, they will take everything away from you. I'm not saying I agree with anything that Kanye said, but how can you go from a billionaire to a millionaire? When I say a millionaire, I mean you lose $3 billion. How can you lose $3 billion in 24 hours? Just like that. $3 billion is taken away from you in 24 hours. Part of it is that you never had $3 billion to begin with. You had the perception. And as long as you behaved and you did what you were told and you played along, they would allow you to continue enjoying these things because you become accustomed to a certain lifestyle. And most men will never give that up. Look at guys like John Cena and what he did at, I think, believe it was the Oscars or the Emmys, one of those things. You know, where he comes on stage and he's basically wearing absolutely nothing. That's a humiliation ritual. All right. He's doing these movies where he's walking around wearing dresses. Those are humiliation rituals. Guys like Kevin Hart don't give a damn. They sold their soul long ago. All right. He was on in an interview with Kelly Clarkson, and she started talking about the kind of things that they want her to do and like they've asked her to do. And he immediately told her to shut up. He was not playing. He became very serious. This is a kid. This is a guy kid. This is a guy who's always joking around. He was serious, cold-bloodedly serious. He told her to be quiet. And she's like, oh, okay, okay. Because he's one of those people. He is 100% one of them. There's a price. These are industry slaves.
The high life can look and appear like it's incredible. The restaurants, the dining, the travel, all of that nonsense, the cars, the Rolexes. But does that buy you happiness? Is that the good life? Sometimes for me, the good life for me is just coming home and sitting on the sofa in my own house, my castle, or my creation, and just chilling out, watching a bit of YouTube, watching some sports, and being content and peaceful in an environment of my own creating. That's what men are doing now. They don't need the high life. They don't need the mansion. They don't need that big car. They don't need all of that stress and hassle. The good life to them could be a fishing trip. A good life to them could be just camping under the stars. A good life to them is a simple, quiet, private life.
Men are increasingly realizing that they don't need a woman to be happy. And the very moment that they say they don't need a woman to be happy, you have women and Sims who immediately jump in and start shaming them and calling them GAY. And this only tells men even more that, yeah, I'm absolutely right to walk away. I'm not leaving anything of value behind. All right. The kinds of people that are attacking me and shaming me and putting me down because I don't want to be in a relationship with them think that by shaming me and by putting me down, that's going to make me want to be in a relationship with them. These are narcissists that are like, oh, you can't. The reason why is because you can't have us. You can't have us. That's not going to make me want to come back to you. That's going to want to make me say, yeah, I'm absolutely right. I don't want to have anything to do with you. I'm going to find happiness by myself. Women in Western society today, and as a result of what Sims have done, have diminished their value in the eyes of men so much that a lot of men have lost physical attraction to them, where they no longer want physical intimacy. They'll just do it for themselves. You know, if they need to go, they'll use a magazine, you know, or some manga, whatever.
Because here's the thing, due to rising crime, due to cost of living crises, due to the fact that you can't enjoy anything good anymore, luxury is losing its appeal. There was a time that when you had Louis Vuitton, that when you wore Rolex, you had to be of a certain status of man, that you had to be very special, you had to be really up there. But nowadays, anyone's wearing Rolex. Everyone is wearing Louis Vuitton, whether it's fake or not. It's lost its appeal. It's lost its speciality. It's lost its taste. It's lost the class. There is no class anymore. Just the other day, I inquired about potentially buying a Rolex, and I was treated like just any other person. And then the guy after me couldn't speak English, dressed like a tramp, and he got a Rolex almost straight away. That's the thing. I'm not saying that that man's better than me or worse, whatever, but anyone can get a Rolex. Anyone can get these things now. You can get credit card loans. You can mortgage your house. Luxury's lost its appeal.
You know what's really interesting? For example, Eminem was doing an interview and they were talking to him about like money, and Eminem was like very cautious with spending money because he grew up so poor. And they asked him about the watch he was currently wearing in an interview, and he goes, I think this is a G-Shock. And they're like, how much did it cost? He's like, I think what, like $100? Like, guys, a lot of wealthy people don't even want this garbage anymore. Like, why are you wearing a boring Rolex? A Rolex is so boring. If you like watches, why not get something that has lots of features and that you can play with? They don't cost $1 million, okay? It's like, for example, oh, I'm not going to play video games. I'm just going to be out here in the streets and, you know, entertaining women. Like guys like Andrew Tate, that's where they completely mess up. They believe that you should spend all of your time working, don't be happy. And if you do want to have any type of, you know, downtime, then you should spend that time courting women. Look where it put them. I'm not saying that men should avoid women, but I'm saying that these guys basically gave women lives of luxuries and it basically flipped on them. The average guy is realizing the juice is not worth the squeeze. It never was, and you can have a better quality of life alone. Modern women cannot do the same thing because the average man can be happy in a shoebox, live happily in a shoebox at the side of the road. The average woman cannot. The average woman, no matter how much they have, they will always want more.
And what actually is luxury anymore? And most importantly of all, this is the thing, social media lies about success. Someone will sell you a course, promise you the world that you can get rich when they got wealthy or appear wealthy through generational wealth. It was nothing to do with them. They did nothing. They just literally had a relative pass away or pass on finances, pass on assets, pass on money, and they're appearing rich and they're trying to sell it to you. It's the age-old question. Why, if someone is so wealthy, would they sell you a course on how you can become wealthy as well? Why would they do it? They'd be enjoying their lives. But instead, is that greed or is that a lie, a scam? Do not believe these people who are telling you that you've got to be rich, that you've got to be a millionaire, because men don't want to buy into it anymore. The wealthiest man is the man with the knowledge and the wisdom to know what he wants out of life and how to make it thrive and enjoy it as well. That's why men don't want to be rich. That's why men don't want to be millionaires or billionaires. They just want the simple life. And funnily enough, when these men do that, when they downgrade, when they become minimalists, when they spend less, when they actually live simply and frugally, something incredible happens. They end up becoming millionaires. They become richer than ever before because they're spending less, they're not chasing it, and it attracts to them more. And they come across so nonchalant, so non-bothered that they become the wealthiest they could ever imagine to be. And that's the thing. When you're chasing it, when you're striving towards it, when you're pushing for it, you're desperate for it, it never comes for you as a rich man. But when you become rich in here, and live rich and gratefully and frugally, you will become so wealthy, you will not even know what to do with it.
I mean, you have your dog. Your dog is there giving you kisses. You bring your dog a meal. Your dog is in love with you. Your dog is grateful for everything that you do for it. Your dog really, get yourself a dog. Get yourself a dog or a couple of dogs. And, you know, you have your home. You have everything that you could want, everything that you could need. And you keep it simple so you don't have a lot to clean up after. You don't have a lot to clean. Guys, you always have clean clothes. Everything is good in your life. And you have no stress. No one bugging you. You know? It's self-sufficiency. We're getting back to normal, getting back to basics, and saying, hey, we don't care about, you know, the outside world so much. And, you know, we learn new skills. And the time that, you know, when we are being productive, we're busy learning new skills, learning how to build stuff, learning how to repair stuff, working on our minds, working on ourselves. And we can take those skills and then leverage them. So we're not going to spend all our time chasing money. And then when we do make money, because we're not wasting our money, guys, we can have everything we want. We can spend tons of money on video games. And it doesn't matter. Because even though we're spending lots of money, on video games, you know, it's still for the average guy is like just buying cheap, it's just buying cheap stuff right now, buying old games. That's why I go on about GOG so much. Because, like, guys, I'm buying all my favorite games and I'm owning all my games. Like, I have a collection right now of over 220 games on GOG. And Steam lost all of that money. Steam lost all of that money from me, okay? I have a massive collection of my games on GOG. I'm living my best life. I'm probably going to play that song after I finish recording this video. Living my best life, guys. I'm telling you. You know, there's really no reason to be working and pushing yourself, and for society does not care about you. And men understand that now. No matter what, guys, with Trump back in office, if he makes life better for men, if men begin to gain rights and all a lot of the things that they lost, and society becomes more equitable for men, that's not going to result in marriage skyrocketing. Men have already learned that they're happier alone. So women are going to have to figure it out for themselves. And guys, when you're not working these crazy long hours, when you've minimalized and you're able to save your income, because most guys are just buying crypto and putting money in stocks and so forth, and they don't give a damn if it goes to zero. Guys, what ends up happening is that you're creating wealth in the long term. So men are just basically going to be putting all of this money in the bank, putting all of this money in crypto, putting all of this money in stocks. And they don't have to pull that money out suddenly because they're broke. No. So they let that. So even if their portfolio goes down, they're like, oh, well, it's going to go back up. So I'm just going to buy some more. Oh, Bitcoin went from $90,000 down to 45,000. Well, it's just going to go right back up. So I'm just going to buy some more. I'm just going to treat this like an opportunity to get some more. This is how men are going to behave. And as a result of not having wives, not having children, they're just going to keep on having, men are just going to have more and more money because it's just going to keep on increasing. So you're going to have men who don't care about being rich, don't care about being wealthy, actually becoming rich, actually becoming wealthy. Okay? That's what's going to happen. You're going to have a lot of men who pass away rich. You're going to have a lot of women who pass away poor because there's an emptiness inside of them. And the Bible even talks about this, that motherhood, and with motherhood comes family and community. Those are the things that fills that emptiness within a woman. But women have traded all of that for consumerism. Women can no longer be happy with one man. Okay? They need many men to make them happy. And even then, they're still not happy. All right? They get moments of temporary happiness, which is nothing more than dopamine highs. They get a quick dopamine hit because they got a new purse. And then they want another one, and another one, and another one. And it's an endless cycle. It's an absolute endless cycle. I spend a couple of dollars maybe every day on different games on GOG. Like, oh my gosh, this game's available for $1.99. Okay? And it's a banger. Or, oh, that one's $5. Should I spend it? Guys, I don't even eat out anymore. I don't eat fast food anymore, guys. I'm getting in my health is getting better. I'm in much better shape. I'm completely cut, and my finances are skyrocketing because I am not eating fast food anymore. Cut that crap out. So now it's like you have so much more money that you can spend on the things that you want to spend on. You can buy the things that you want to buy that you actually own. And that cannot be taken away from you. And it's a great feeling to have everything that you want, everything that you need, and then to be able to say, yeah, I'm done. I'm just going to walk away. Guys, here's something about technology. I'll even point this out. So many of you guys know I have a background in business, but I also have a background in computer science. I studied computer science in university as well. It's one of my specialties. And there's a lot of technology right now that is changing things. For example, you have a thing called Bazite. You can install Bazite on an old laptop. You can install Bazite on a handheld gaming PC. You can install Bazite in a lot of places. What Bazite is that it's basically a compatibility layer that allows you to play your games just like Steam, except it basically gives you the Steam. It basically is like an alternative to the Steam Big Picture mode, but it puts a compatibility layer on things so that you can play your games, pretty easily. And it's a very, very interesting thing. So if the game was originally for Windows, you can now play your games on Linux, on basically a Linux OS, and you can just chill. And it's so important that these things exist. We have Linux. We have various distributions of Linux. We have things like Bazite now, which is entirely an entire system just designed for playing your games. And you can do things like using the Heroic launcher, add the GOG store, and even the Epic Game Store and whatever else, and play all of your games that way. We have emulation, which is big as well. And there's tons of boxes that allow you to do this, guys. The point I'm trying to make is if these companies like Apple and Microsoft start trying to do things like charging you to use their OS and everything now costs money, well, people are going to move to Linux. And there are tons and tons of free distributions of Linux, and it's only getting better and better each and every single day. So people will abandon. There are many distributions right now that are simple and actually even operate very similar to Mac OS, which I absolutely love. I love Mac OS. But if it becomes too expensive, I'm going to abandon it. I will abandon Apple in a heartbeat. And I basically have time, so I'll basically learn. I'll just learn, keep on learning, and then I can build an experience for myself. And I'll live cheap. buy a cheap laptop or an old laptop, whatever, and guys, and just live and relax. Buy up a bunch of DVDs and watch those DVDs till the end of time. It's true. We don't, guys. We watch a lot of us as guys will watch the same movies over and over and over. I used to watch Office Space a million times. I used to watch, Harold and Kumar go to White Castle a million times. Like, this was my lifestyle. I used to live this way, and a lot of men want to go back to that, where they don't have the constant stimulation, because that's how they control you, by keeping you constantly drawn into this garbage. But I'll tell you something right now, the media is beginning to fall apart, because essentially they don't want you to be happy, they don't want you to be entertained, they want you to be miserable, but then at the same time they want to continually hold on to your attention. It's eating, they're basically eating themselves. They're basically eating themselves right now, and they're destroying their own house. They're burning down their own house. That's how Trump got elected. I mean, just look at this insightful comment from one of my subscribers, Blue Magic 1979. He says, I think, and this is in response to my, video discussing how Ubisoft stock is crashing. All of these stocks are crashing. Squaresoft, their stock is crashing because of all the woken games. And he said something interesting. He said, I think they are trying to kill all entertainment, sports, movies, video games. And he's not wrong what he says right here, because they all suck. All right. Sports have been taken over. We lost the Super Bowl. Movies are absolutely garbage. Television is absolutely garbage. And now they've come for video games. This is the reason why old is gold. And now they're starting to try to charge significant amounts of money if you want to play old games. And they're going to do the same things for old movies and everything else. Oh, this is basically the not woke fee. If you want to enjoy stuff that's not woke, then you're going to have to pay more for it. Hollywood is an absolute free-for-all. And guys, as things change, like right now, these companies are charging whatever they like. They're ripping people off. It's not going to last forever. It's not going to last, guys. As soon as people start pulling back, it's over. If they start saying you can't own anything, blah, 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 people will go to Linux and they'll begin pirating whatever they want. All right? People will turn to Linux. People will begin playing their games on Linux, guys. You can download tons of games. Like there are different sites where you can just basically download the launcher for these games, okay, and pay nothing. Your entire, and it's just how it is. It is absolutely how it is right now. So if you don't own anything, okay, well then I don't care about you. I don't care about your business. This is the reason why. I think it was I forget this guy's name. But he was a former editor over at GameSpot, and he basically they basically fired him because he refused to write a fake review, and he published a real review, and they fired him over it. And it was the marketing team evidently that was pushing for it. Yeah, guys, he basically said that companies should not be trying to ban free; they should be trying to compete with free. And he said this many years ago, and now we're in the digital age where people are buying everything digitally. But what are they doing? Now that people are buying everything digitally, it costs nothing to distribute these things digitally. They're taking advantage of it and now trying to tell you that you can't own anything at all. So, we'll let you get it digitally, but you can't own anything. What? That's right. So it's greed. So even though they have benefited from being able to distribute things digitally and people purchasing things digitally that they cannot resell, they've gone and taken advantage of it and saying that now we're going to use the system to control you. Now we're going to use the system to ensure that you don't ever own a damn thing. So you're going to continue pouring money into something and paying for it forever. It's basically, we'll give you the first crack rock for free with these trials and everything else, but then they jack the price up and you're paying forever. This is one of the reasons why it's also important to depending on where you live, to own a vehicle. Own your car, not an expensive car. Own a decent car that'll help you get from point A to point B. And that's it. All right? Don't let Uber control you. You need to learn how to drive. Gen Z is cooked. There's no future for these people. I'm being real. The average Gen Zer is cooked. They have no hope in this world. They have zero hope. They are going. Someone said this, that they're going to be, that this is a generation of indentured servants. There's no, guys, Most Gen Zers are not getting driver's licenses. They refuse to get a driver's license. They would rather take an Uber. And their philosophy in life is that the world will just change for them to accommodate them. The world does not accommodate anyone. These people cannot cook. They cannot clean. They cannot read. They cannot write. They have zero resilience. They burn out very quickly and they just walk away and abandon everything. They are not studious. They are lazy. They are greedy. They are dishonest. Okay? Were they dealt a bad hand? Absolutely. Their response to it is by being total scumbags. By stealing, by lying, by being vindictive, by being untrustworthy, by being unreliable, by being lazy, by being stupid. This is their response to it. Guys, you can't come back from this crap. They're never going to come back from it. There is no hope for them. Many of them are heading into their 30s right now. And the worst of the generation are the people who are in their 30s or are the ones pushing 30 right now. So if the oldest of Gen Z are this bad, and there are people like, oh, the younger ones will redeem the generation, that's a load of BS. A lot of the younger ones are practicing these things called takeovers right now. Territory takeovers. That's gang warfare, bro. These people are up to no good. And guys, I told you, they're going to be in and out of prison. Gen Z is going to be a generation that's going to be in and out of prison. Okay? And Gen Alpha is a generation that's going to spend most of their lives in prison. There's nothing good coming for Gen Z. They're screwed. And even with Trump, guys, they don't actually want to work. So even when you see a lot of opportunities beginning to present themselves, they're not going to go out there and work. Because they don't want to work. They want to stay home and chill. Okay? In many cases, for example, $25 an hour, they're going to say that's not enough for them. They're going to say they would rather stay at home and relax and do nothing, let their parents cover their meals, and live off the state as much as they can. And that's it. These people are not going to build intergenerational wealth. These people are not building knowledge. They're not learning so they can stack knowledge. They're not learning new skills so they can stack skills. They're basically just laying around sleeping and farting. Sleeping, farting, playing video games, getting drunk, getting high, and then doing it all again the next day. They have no future. And when really hard times hit and their parents are not there to subsidize them, what happens? It's very simple. They're out in the streets and they'll be in the streets stealing and squatting. Send them to prison, and the only thing they're going to do is they're going to eat, sleep, poop, play video games. Well, no video games in prison, but play games, cards, and whatever else. Watch television, get laid, get drunk, get high, and then do it all again the next day. And I said there's no video games, but for all what the hell do I know? They probably smuggle that stuff in. So they're going to be in there having a damn good time, learning from real criminals on how to steal. They're going to be in there with Julio, and Julio's going to be like, "¿Qué tal, mi amigo? ¿Cómo está? Why are you in here, bro?" And they're like, so they come out speaking Spanish, all right? Some white boy goes in from stealing from Costco. He comes out tatted up with Mexican tattoos that you don't even know what the hell it is. He has like Lady Death on him, the Angel of Death, and like what the hell? Because he was in there with Julio, and Julio is in there crying his eyes out when this white guy leaves now because he taught him well. That was like his son. That was literally like his son. He took this boy under his wings. And he taught him how to be a proper criminal. He taught him how to really steal, how to listen, man, you're stealing from Costco. No, you want to steal from Trader Joe's. They're such nice people. I've been stealing from them from over the years, and they still life is good, man. Life is good. They're going to teach you they're going to teach these kids how to really be criminals. So these kids are going to go with an associate. They're going to come out with a PhD in committing crime. All right. I'm telling y'all. Day of release, Julio is there crying, saying, "Listen, man, it's all good though, because I'm gonna see you again real soon." I'm gonna see you again real soon. All right, but you go out there, you put everything I taught you to good work. And these Gen Zers are gonna head back out there and just gonna be destroying society. Destroying society. And like I said, Gen Alpha, they're gonna spend most of their lives in prison. That's a generation that comes after Gen Z. There is no hope for Gen Alpha. Like we're gonna have to build more prisons to hold them. Do not send Gen Alphas to juvie. You send them straight to prison. There's a place in New York called Rikers Island. That's where you send those. That's when where you send those mother effers. All right. You send them straight to Rikers. You don't put them with children. Listen to me. You put them with grown adults. You lock them up in Rikers. Those are some dangerous people. Gen Alpha? Oh, they're only 10. I don't give a damn. Send him straight to Rikers. Send him straight to Rikers and put him in a long timeout. All right? That extends at least a couple of months, maybe a couple of years. All right? Do not let these Gen Alpha, these lunatics. No, I don't think so. So I mean, yeah, these people are cooked. But for the average man doesn't care about wealth. The average man doesn't care about these things anymore because he realizes he can live a really happy and rewarding life just by himself chilling. He doesn't have to have a wife. In fact, the wife is a liability. Okay? If he wants a girlfriend, he can go overseas and get one. This is the truth. Men have given up on Western society. Men are demoralized. And there's going to be backlash. There's going to be blowback. As these companies, the more they push and the more that they take, as consumers lose trust in digital media and so forth, they're going to begin moving back to physical media. And physical media will begin to regain value. And of course, there will be piracy. So basically, you won't be able to watch the latest episodes of X-Men 97. We're going to work as hard as we can to make it as difficult as we can to pirate it. So we'll pirate what's available. And then on top of it, there are companies that are going to take advantage of it. Like, there are people who are going to take advantage of it. There are people like me who are going to take advantage of it. Oh, bro, they're charging you all of this money for this stuff. Why don't you just watch Angry Guy videos? You think I'm stupid? I am your entertainment. For a lot of you guys, I know I'm your entertainment. You're at work listening to my videos. You're working out. You're listening to my videos. You're cooking and cleaning. You're listening to my videos. This is your entertainment, guys. Guys, I study comedy. I study delivery. This is not just by chance. I've been doing this for over 10 years, but you have to learn how to deliver things. You have to learn how to make it interesting. You have to learn how to be engaging, how to be fun. All right? This is how to keep people engaged. So this is your entertainment. You're chilling. You're having a good time. You're drinking your drink. You're smoking your smoke. A lot of y'all smoking your weed while you're listening to Angry. Okay? Some of y'all go out there, try to mess around with a girl, and then you come right back to Angry like, yeah, Angry, you're all right. How you doing, man? Come on. I told y'all all roads lead back to Uncle Angry. All roads lead to God, but all roads lead back to Uncle Angry. I'm telling y'all, you go out there in the streets, you mess around, you find out, and then you come right back to Uncle Angry. Sometimes years later, how you doing, Uncle Angry? How you doing, Angry Sama? The ones that start with Angry Sama, a lot of them, it's not a matter of respect. It's because they know what they did. They were here trolling, and then now they're gone, and they come back on their hands and knees trying to act like everything is good between us. And it's not good. It's not good between us. I'm telling you. Men don't need much to be happy, and women are facing hard times. Like, it was already predicted before Trump's re-election that 45% of women were going to be childless and single between the ages of 25 and 44 come 2030, guys. That's because men are not having children with them. Men are not getting married to them. Okay? Men won't have relationships. So, guys, like I said, all of our money that we're making, we're just going to put it in the bank. We're going to be putting it in the bank, putting it in cryptocurrency, putting it in stocks. And that money is just going to sit there and grow and grow and grow. Okay? And we actually have things of value. We actually have things that actually have real value. The average woman has nothing of real value. People are like, oh, you don't understand, Angry. The clothing, they could resell that stuff online. Guys, as soon as that stuff is out of season, it has lost value. It is not as easy as you think to resell clothing. And there's this movement right now, the buy nothing movement, where a lot of people are doing this whole thing where they are like, buy nothing. All right, where they're refusing to spend money for anything, where they look through the community, like Facebook groups or websites and apps that are designed for this, where they basically can find people who just want to get rid of stuff. and they'll go and pick it up. Yeah. Yeah. They'll go and pick that stuff up. And that's how it is. And they live comfortably. There's some people right now who know how to get everything for free, more or less. They're getting free food, free housing, free furniture, free clothes, free toiletries. Don't forget, guys, I have a course for you. I did create a course for you guys where I do teach you guys how to basically get everything for free. You know, I have my Buy Nothing and Thrive course. And in the Buy Nothing and Thrive course, which is pretty awesome, you guys should definitely check that out. It's linked in the description. You know, in today's challenging world, knowing how to thrive without spending a dime can make all the difference. And that's why I created the Buy Nothing and Thrive course. You know, in this crash course, you're going to learn how to secure cash, money, food, housing, and healthcare, all without spending a dime for any of it, guys. Imagine having a trusted advisor showing you how to leverage available resources to stabilize your finances and grow your wealth. Join me and learn step-by-step strategies to maximize what's available to you and enhance your financial stability. And you can click the link in the description to go and sign up for that course. Check out that course, guys, because these are skills that every guy should have. Every man should have these skills, and I learned them over years of hardships and everything in my life. So now I'm giving that knowledge to you, so go and definitely check that out. What do you guys think about all of this? Most men don't want to be rich anymore. And it's men are going to survive and thrive, and women are going to find themselves in poverty and destitution as men walk away from relationships and dating, and women find themselves unable to stabilize their incomes as many of their jobs begin to disappear, and they'll be living in, a lot of women will be living in their cars, they'll be living in the woods, they'll be living in their cars, they'll be living in shelters, they'll be living in the streets. Many will be living in the woods, you know, and maybe the bear can help them. But let me know what you guys think. We'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away. And cheers.